Okay, hold on. Before I get started, let me put all these weapons up. Yeah, this is gonna be my last video outside for bound training. Thank you guys for serving me. Damn, I shouldn't have locked that. I'm gonna need to unlock that to put that belt on. Okay, so from here on out, it's straight up bound training. Alright? So do's and don'ts of being bound. First, we're gonna do the worst bounding ever, which is in the back. And if you watched the other video I did yesterday, or the day before, being trained bound behind your back is probably most likely the worst place that you can be bound, is having your hands behind your back. I'm not going to say it can't be done, and for those who are, this is too tight. Ah, shit. For those who are flexible enough to do one of those numbers, I got stuck. For those who are flexible enough to do one of those numbers, and you can get your foot through there and all that, my hip replacement has ended that. Then do that. You know, the old through the circle thing that you very flexible people can do, that I no longer can do because my flexibility has been wiped out due to hip replacement. So I'm going to show you my hands are bound. And yes, that's America's ass. Alright, I couldn't resist that one, I'm sorry. So you're bound and your hands are behind your back. This is not a police under arrest scenario. This is just, you've been kidnapped, your hands are behind your back because people know about your reputation for doing martial arts. This will make them think twice about putting your hands behind your back, especially if you are better with your feet than you are with your hands. So this also helps with ghost man training. So we're doing bound fighting and ghost man training. Now let's pray I don't go down and break an arm, which can happen during training. So you want to be exceptionally careful where you train. I'm training outside, which means grass is wet, which means I can slip, which means I can get hurt. See, here's how you prepare your students by telling them the truth of you can get hurt just training by yourself, which is what I'm doing. So, my hands are bound, guys running at me. I have multiple options and almost absolutely no time to think about what I'm going to do. The guy's running at me, boom, his momentum. Now what happens if he catches my foot? You don't take that into consideration at the time, but it can happen. So if he catches my foot, I'm in a world of hurt, especially if he sweeps my other foot. And that would be the case where I would pray that I have enough coherency to bust a Gymkhana move and bust a backflip and land on my feet. Not going to say that's going to happen in my old age, but in my younger days, it could happen. Let's say he's coming at me and I throw this, and he catches my foot. Well, then I'm going to Ernie Reyes Jr. the shit out of it with a 360. Or I'm going to Brandon Lee the shit out of it with a 180. For those who have no idea what those are, that is when someone catches your foot and it's basically an enziguri one way or an enziguri the other way. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what an enziguri is. The 180 is the closer to the enziguri, where the 360, which has basically only been done by Ernie Reyes Jr., that's where you go all the way around. So that's like, instead of me coming up this way and they caught this foot, I spin all the way around the back. Alright? Again, mostly done by Ernie Reyes Jr. And maybe in my younger day, I probably could have done it. If my life depended on it, I can do it. Keep that in your thoughts. If your life depends on it, you can do it. Because when your life is in danger, there's almost nothing you won't do to save it. Alright, so now for Ghost Man training. I'm going to have a guy come here and here, and I'm only allowed to use my feet because my hands are bound. Which the problem with this, if y'all haven't noticed, my hands are bound. I am not going to be able to block anything. So if I can, it just won't be effective unless it's like not full on charge. So if a guy's throwing a kick from this side and I can bat it away, that's good. But what about the guy coming from that side? See, you're figuring out the problem. So I have three guys. One's coming at the front, two are coming at the side. So first guy, boom, boom, boom. Now, if I'm lucky enough to pull that off, that would be great, but that was also the wrong move. So I would say to first, this guy, and then get back to where you can get into the proper position to kick this guy. Looks a whole lot better when your hands are bound in front of you, because that doesn't prevent you from doing certain special moves. Or when your hands bound behind you, you have to work on basics. So basics, guys coming at you one at a time this time, guys at the front coming at you, boom, you kick them over toward that guy going that way. Then you can strike this guy, and then you can get ready, boom, boom, to those two guys. So as horrible as that sounds, so what do? Inside to outside crescent kick to the first guy, knocking him in the direction of the other two. This guy comes up, boom, side kick there. In position, double kick there. Why double? Because the guy on the ground we want to keep on the ground. The other guy's jumping over the guy on the ground, so we want to nail him too. So again, guy on the ground, boom, boom. Because he's rising up, boom. The other guy's going to spring off his back. That'd be a hell of a fight choreographer if you guys give me a job. But anyway, so that's how you handle those three as best you can. Now, let's say you don't have your fighting ability with your hands, or better than your fighting ability with your feet. Let me reword that because I totally screwed that up. Let's say you're good with your hands, but not your feet. So you have to learn how to evade. Guy in the front's coming with a flying dragon, sidestep. Attempt to kick the guy behind you. The guy coming at you, attempt to knee him. Like I said, let's say your foot skills suck. So, guy come at you flying dragon, boom. You don't want to go too far down because you might go down into another move. So, flying dragon, block, block, duck, block, duck, block. That duck was for people swinging at you at the top of your head. So, you duck and you block. You block, guy comes back behind you, you get all the way down, but you want to keep your eyes on your opponent. So if you were Ghost Man fighting, it would be more like, boom, 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 boom. But again, no feet. You're better with your hands. So the best thing you can do in that situation, evade, evade, evade. Now let's get to bound fighting in the front, because I know you guys are getting bored now. So we're still Ghost Man fighting it, but things are going to look a lot more smoother now. So my hands are this close. We're going to get them open to where they're not so far apart. Alright, now we're not going to get them right there, because that's too tight and you can cut off circulation during training, which is bad, because then you'll pass the fuck out. Okay, so now for equal opportunity, you're better with your hands than your feet. You know, guys coming at you, boom. Guys coming at you, boom. These are what I like to call shark blocks. They're basically chops. If you're like in Kempo, they're chops. So a guy's flying dragoning you, that means he's in the air. You can whack him away and then hit. So it'd be more like boom, boom. And that torque from here to here is going to drop the guy. But you forgot you have two other guys. So, boom, boom, boom. Remember, you're stuck with your feet, but that was a basic side kick, so you should be okay. The other guy, boom, elbow, boom. The shark strike is simulating the palm strike, but my hands were already in this position to thrust. I know you all seen those anime where they always like do this and jab somebody in the asshole. Well, your fingertips work on the same principle if you stab someone in the gut. So when you are stabbing someone in the gut, here, see where my ball, this thing, hits my belly? That is where you are jabbing them, because this is where all your air, water, and everything else stops. This is your actual stomach. Down here is your intestines. So this is your outer belly, this is your inner belly. Alright? Get a diagram, of the human body, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So now let's say you're a very well-rounded fighter. This idiot that kidnapped you does not know that. So they tie your hands to the front. Alright? So for Ghost Man training, because this works for Ghost Man training, but only use it for Ghost Man training. I don't recommend you trying this stuff for real, because you can get hurt. And if you're training by yourself, it's fine. If you train with someone else, make sure that they are actually a martial artist that has some kind of discipline in martial arts or something in the scenario that you have trained under. I don't think boxers train with their hands tied, but a lot of martial artists train with their hands tied so they can get better with their feet. That's kind of how this stuff kind of started. So Ghostman, I got 4 attackers. Ready? So first guy, boom, boom, boom. See, the 4th guy jumped over me, so that was why that happened. So first guy, boom. Second guy, 3rd guy, 4th guy, because he went right past me doing the other 2. So when you're doing Ghostman training, and if you're doing it bound, you have to keep up with what you see in your head, transferring it to the body. This guy's coming flying dragon, this guy's coming flying dragon, sidestep, or backstep, or spin through, punch this guy, elbow or kick that guy. So you have your 4-star circle attack where the guy's coming in, boom, boom, that takes out 2. Boom, that takes out the one that you just sit and miss. That blocks his kick and then you strike. Okay? Because you also have to practice your blocks with Ghostman training. Just in case you don't get the chance to do what I just did. So we're only going to do blocks. Be forewarned, in Kempo, a strike is a block, a block is a strike. Wherever there's a joint, there's a pressure point. You guys can use that. So, I'm only going to do blocks. But are they blocks? Or are they strikes? Or are they both? The answer is they are both. So, guy comes this way. Boom, 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 boom. You understand that? Boom, 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 boom. That wasn't the exact same thing. Just in case any eagle-eyed people caught that. So, guy's running at me. Boom. Blocking with knees. Blocking with knees, blocking here, use the ropes, elbow, and block. You know, it worked better if I actually had people who I could choreograph a fight scene with. However, I'm not that blessed. I hope I gave you guys some insight on fighting bound. No, I totally messed up my hair, right? But the point of the making of this was so that you can understand that it can be done. It's just highly, highly not recommended. I mean, if you're going to make a movie, it's fine, but you got to work that thing out. You have to work your steps because the poor sap that's going to be blind, it's more than likely playing the hero. Y'all need to actually work with that person to know how their body works, and you need to know how or where they're going to be. And you can't miss your mark because you will get hit because they're blind. So if they're blind and they can't see, it's kind of not going to be their fault. But if you're making a movie, you have to take extra precautions on the fighting style. If your hero in the movie is going to be blind, the people that are working with them, they have to work with him at a slow pace, and then you'll have to speed it up in post. So film it in slow motion and speed it up in post. If you can film it in one take in not slow motion, good for you. But that means you have some of the greatest stuntmen on earth. If you can't film it in slow motion, and you have to film it in fast motion because you have a time clock, then I advise you to film one attacker at a time and then mish it together. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. B, C, and U. And it didn't stop recording.